Hey guys, my name is Koushik and welcome back to LetCode. So in our previous video we learned the ambiguous problem. So for example, if you go to a loginsteps.ts file, so here we have all our feature file steps and as well as the step definitions. So here we are creating the object and we are using the same object within the page, within the same file, so it's working fine. But when I go to the add to cart steps here, like if I have the same steps again, so it is like ambiguous. That means like it's a duplicate step definition, so I cannot do that. For example, if I go to my login.feature here, user navigates to the application, user clicks on the login name, entering the credential and clicking on the login button. So that's going to be same for this file as well. Okay, so here I have missed that one. I'm just going to copy this and paste over here. Yeah, so here it should not be when, it should be again and, because here it's basically the condition, not your actual test. Okay, so if I mouse over like and user clicks on the login button, here it will go to the when user clicks on the login button, but technically both are fine. Cucumber doesn't really bother whether it's a given when or then. Only thing Cucumber, it's have this gherkin keyword just for the readability. So when I see when, that means here my actual test starts. Also I can select when, so when I start searching for the book, and I can select and this also fine. Okay, so this is how we can write. Then in the sense, like of course we know it's a positive outcome. If it's but, it's a negative outcome. Okay, yeah, so that's a different thing. If you do not know anything about Playwright, anything about Cucumber, please watch my Cucumber series. You will learn a lot of things. Okay, coming back to this topic, so we understood that we should not have duplicate step definition. Of course we can have duplicate steps here in my feature file, but that should not be in any of the files. In the Typescript files I cannot have the duplicate steps. Okay, so it will lead to us the ambiguous problem. So how to solve this? Typical way is like using the same object. So for example, if I go to my add to cart step, I know that these steps are already there, so I should not repeat it here, right? So I'm just going to remove this guys, and of course if I do like that, of course it will not work because I have my objects in this particular file. So object in the sense like here only I'm creating the page object, here I'm creating the browser object, but I cannot use the same here, and of course I cannot borrow from there to here, right? So what we have to do is we have to use the common file that I can use in all my other files. Okay, I'm saying files, not class, because in TypeScript this is not a class, right? This is just a file with have like functions. So given is a function with callback of this thing, when is a function with callback of this thing. So this is not your typical classes. If I take the same concept in Java, then of course I will say like we cannot share one object to another class, but here I'm stating this as files because this is typically a file. Okay, yeah, now let's go and create a common thing. Okay, so I'm going to maintain that within the hooks. We are just going to see a glimpse of hooks, but we'll talk about the hooks more in detail. Okay, so I'm going to create a folder first of all within my, or else let's create the folder within the SRC. That will make more sense. So here I will make this like hooks, and within the folder I'm going to create a file called hook.ts or hooks.ts. Anyway, anything is fine. Okay, and I'm going to create another file for my page fixture. So page fixture is nothing but we are going to create a constant page, and we are going to use that in all our pages. Okay, so first of all we are going to say like export const and then followed by page fixture, or you can say it as fixture as well, that's fine. And it's going to be object where we are going to use the page. And what is page? Page is going to be undefined for now. Okay, yeah, it's going to undefined. So we are just using the page fixture. Page fixture is nothing but a object, and we are exporting this. Okay, so within the object I have a property called page. That's it. Okay, Cucumber hooks, we have like a lot of functions. We are going to see everything one by one, but for this video I'm just going to use two things. Okay, so first of all I have to use the import statement, and I'm going to import from Cucumber and here I'm going to say like before all, and then probably like after all. Okay, I'm going to use this two hooks for now. Okay, so hooks is nothing but if I go to my feature file, you remember that whenever scenario executes, the background will execute first. For this scenario, the background will execute. So the limitation of background is within the feature file. If I wanted to do some particular actions within the entire feature file, like all these scenarios, all these scenario outlines, everything, I have to use the concept of hooks. Okay, that is how it works. Yeah, if you know hooks, that's fine, or else please refer to the Cucumber playlist already I shared that has a lot of details. Okay, so here we'll use the before all, and it's going to be have like async and then the arrow function. Okay, one thing within the hooks, never use arrow functions. It will cause some issues that I recently learned. So I'm going to convert this into function now. I will tell you what are the problems and why we should not use the arrow or the fat arrow within the this thing. But yeah, for now we are going to use the function. Arrow is also a function, but both have different entire concept. Okay, so I'll talk about that maybe upcoming videos. For now, function, just use function, that's fine. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to use the page fixture as well. Okay, so here I know that I have this thing, so I'm going to import this one. Yeah, before that, let me go to my login step, and this is how we create all our object, right? So I'm just going to cut it from here. Let me cut this one. Okay, let me copy this, and if I go to my hooks, this is where I'm going to make it. And of course I have to import the chromium and import the browser as well. So let's make it like browser, and here I'm going to say like let page is going to be of type page, and let browser is going to of type browser. Okay, so that's it. So here we got this one. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say like page, then followed by fixture dot page equal to page. Okay, that means yeah, let me. Okay, so here you can see like what we are doing is very simple. So we have this before all, and similarly I can say like after all with async and the function, of course. And here I can select await, then followed by browser dot close, and before that I can select await page dot close. Okay, so that means like here we have the browser thing and here we have the page thing, so we are using like close. But what we have to do is this page fixture, right? So like within the login step, now I'm not supposed to use this thing, so rather I have to use the page. So for example, I can just simply remove this guy, and here everywhere I'm getting like page error. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply say like page fixture dot page, and that's it. This is how it should be work. Okay, so that means like we are not going to create the page within a particular step definition, rather we are going to create within the hooks. And before all, in the sense like before running every feature file, here before all hooks will kick in, and here we are creating the object for the page and we are going to use it. But of course we have a compile time error, because if I mouse over, you can see like the page is not assignable to a type undefined. So what we will do, we'll simply go here and we'll say like this might be undefined, but if it's defined, then I want to make it like my page, and page is from your Playwright. So we can just ignore this should work fine. But for now I'll just add this ts ignore so that we won't get any compile time issue. But yeah, probably in upcoming videos I will fix this as well. Okay, so what we are trying to do, we are trying to do like it may be undefined, but if it's defined, it's going to be of type page. Okay, now if I go to this one, you can see like page fixture dot page dot go to, and it works fine. We are getting all the documentation, I mean types, readability things, all the things. Okay, I'm just going to quickly change this page to, so you can select Control D and yeah, paste over this. That's it. Okay, and of course I'm not going to use the await.close within the picture file anymore, because since we have the hooks, we can just close it over there. Okay, so that's it, very simple thing. Now if I go to my add to cart steps, so here also I'm going to do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it like page picture dot page, and I'm going to replace for all the places. Okay, that's it, we are pretty much done. And here one more mistake is like batch count, right? So batch count basically gives us that string, so I'm going to convert that into a number format, and then I can expect like greater than to be 0. Okay, so yeah, all the string and these things are not required. I'm just going to delete all the unused. Same here as well. I know you are super confused right now, but let me make it very simple for you. Just give me a few seconds. So here also I have to say like page fixes, because we are going to use the same object. Yeah, that's fine. Not this one. Okay, so we are pretty much done. Yeah, let's go and run this first. Let's see whether we are able to run this, or we are able to sorry, this one. So we have to say like npm, then followed by run test or test, anything should work fine. So we are currently running only the add to cart thing, but let's see. Okay, we got some error, and it says there's a given user navigates to the application cannot read property of go to, which is undefined. Okay, the reason is basically now we are actually using the concept of hooks, and we have to say where is my hooks. So for example, if I go to the cucumber JSON file, here is my path, and here I have to add the path of this page fixture, not page fixture, the hooks.ts file as well. So I'm going to copy the relative path, and here I'm going to make this happen, and I'm going to change this. Now let's go and run this one more time. Let's see. Okay, and okay, sorry, this hooks is basically by so within the path we have to say where is our feature file, and then followed by we have to say the glue where we have said like our steps. So this one is basically like require here. So here I'm going to say the same, right? This one. So this is where my files are. My step definitions are here, and my hooks are here. Okay, so I'm going to run this one more time. Let's see, or else I have to check the documentation. So in Cucumber we are using the latest version of 9, where we have to say like require. And previously we have like glue. Yeah, glue, we use the glue concept. Okay, so one browser open closed and 2 failures are there, but you are able to understand that our script is running. Now I'm just going to fix this guy quickly. So user clicks on the login link, and it says like function timed out, which is bad. Okay, so let's go and check this one. So I can change it from here, I guess. Set default timeout, and then I can say like set default timeout to 3 seconds. It's going to be in milliseconds, I guess. Yeah, it's in milliseconds, so I can just multiply with 1000, and probably I can wait for 2 minutes. So this is how I'm going to use it, and I guess I have to use this in all the files, I guess. I'm not sure. So let's have this, and I'm going to import this from here. Okay, now let me bring up my terminal, and I'm going to execute this one more time. So the browser got launched and login happened. It's waiting for 2 seconds, then it searched for roomies. It's going to click on the first link. Yes, and that's it, it got passed. Okay, so that's a really good thing. Okay, so what's the issue is basically the timeout, so we have to use the timeout. Okay, now coming back to all the things, like why we have done this is basically so that I can run multiple files. So I'm going to remove this one. So I'm going to remove the add to cart, and I'm going to execute all my feature file. And if I go to my add to cart here, I have like only one. I'm going to use like 2 data. So One is Tony KC and another one is Tony, and we are searching two books. I'm going to reduce the time a little bit. So let's say here I'm going to wait for like 1 second is fine. I don't think I need that as well, but just for the safety. And if I go to my login step, when I do the login, I don't have to wait like 3000. I'm going to wait for like 1 second again, or else it will wait for the load state. So I think that should work fine. I have committed this one. Okay, so let's go and run this. If it's failed, not a big deal, we can change anytime. So let's go and hope we are able to run both our test. Okay, yeah, I guess the time is not appropriate. We have to use much time because it's not working. Okay, now let me go and see. There's one failure that I can see, and it's basically waiting for something. I don't know why. Okay, and then it's navigating to another one. Got failed fast. Actually, if you notice, it is running in the same browser, so that is one kind of issue. So basically what mistake I did here is basically within the hooks I'm using before all in the sense like before all the feature file it will run, it will execute once. But in our case, like if you go to your feature file here, you can see like for scenario outline, of course we have the background, and for login feature also we have like background, and we need a new session, not the same session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply change this to like, instead of before all, I'm going to make it like before, and that will come from Cucumber, and here also like after. Okay, so that should work fine. Now if I go and run this, of course we are going to use the before all and after all as well, but from the next video. So for this I just wanted to show you how to share the page across all your tests. Let's see. So here you can see like before even the navigation completes, the roomies are, see, it's a typing, which so that the load state is not working actually, so we have to change that. We'll do that in a moment. So here you can see like we have like 3 pass and there is one failure. So if you go up, the failure is basically, so one failure is there, and that roomie thinks strict mode violation. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just add the weight, appropriate weight. Once I click on the login button, I want to wait for like 2 seconds, and when I'm searching for the book, I will wait for like 2 seconds again. Okay, so now let's go and run this. Login happened. Now it's going to search for roomies. It's going to click on the first link, add to cart, done. Second test case, login. It's going to search for the simple wild. It's going to click on the first, add to cart, done. Login test pass, we got it, and then login failure. So here we'll get the failure message, pass. That's it. Okay, pretty cool. So only the Playwright thinks I sucked little bit. I mean, I suck your time little bit. That the configuration is really easy. Now I'm going to give you a quick recap so that you will understand. So first thing, the timeout. So the script should complete within the given timeout, or else it will fail. In our case, the default timeout is 10 seconds, but we know our test script will run more than that. So here we are using the set default timeout, and 60 into 2 like 120 seconds, that means 2 minutes. Okay, and you can have this in all your script, or maybe one script. I'm not sure about it as of now. I will let you know. Okay, now let's go to our feature file. So here we have login feature, where we have like background, like user navigates to the application and user clicks on the login link, and then some use case scenarios. Similarly, we have like a background with scenario outline with examples. Okay, so we know this. Now In previous video, we know that there is ambiguous problem because I can have the same step in multiple feature file, but I cannot have the same step definition. So one way to handle is basically using the hooks. So within the hooks, we are using, like, we are creating the object and we are sharing the same object across all our files. Okay, so that's it, very simple thing. And here we have page fixture, and this is basically just to like use the page. Like here from chromium.launch we are getting the browser, from the browser we are getting new page, from the new page we are storing in this particular page fixture concept in this object. Basically this is just an object, so whenever we create an object we'll set it to that object and we'll use that object in across all the file. You might ask me why we are not using this page across all the file, because we cannot share that. If you want to share that, we need another object, so that's why we have is, of course I can create the object in that file itself, but just for the simplicity I'm creating it here and then I'm using it there. Okay, so that's it. So it's like you set your files, you set your object once and you use that object across all your files. Okay, and then we have this before, which means like before each and every scenario it will run. And also we have like before all, after all, before step, after step. I will cover all those in detail from the next video. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you have any queries, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll be happy to reply. Tada, bye bye, take care.